How's it going? Today we're going to be making a simple pickup game, where when you collect all the cubes, it triggers an event, such as opening the door to a secret room. And we're going to go over making a UI counter that keeps track of the number of cubes you collected. I'll be honest with you, today's lesson is going to be a little bit code intensive, but don't worry, you and I are going to walk through it together. And just a side note, we're going to make the game completely local. That means, when anyone enters the world, they're going to get a completely separate and private instance of the game for themselves. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Go to the top left of the hierarchy and select the plus icon. Go to UI, Canvas. Rename your canvas to Cube Count Canvas / Logic. Select your canvas, go to its inspector, and then go to the canvas module. Change the render mode from screen space overlay to world space. Then, under canvas scaler, change the dynamic pixels to 5. Because the default size for canvases in Unity is freaking huge, we're going to have to adjust the size. So, under width, change it to 100. Then, change the height to 50. Go down to scale, and change the scale to 0.01 by 0.01 by 0.01. Select your canvas, and then hit Ctrl-Shift-F. This will bring the canvas right in front of you. Change the rotation to 0, 0, 0. Lastly, let's add a Udon behavior component to hold the logic for our canvas. Go to Add Component, Udon Behavior. Now that we've completed our main canvas, let's set some text. Select your canvas, right-click, go to UI, Text. Rename that text to Collected Cubes Text. Select the text again and change the width to 50. Then change the height to 50 as well. Go down to the text module and change the main text to 0. Then change the font style from normal to bold. And under font size, set it from 14 to 20. Under paragraph, change the alignment to far right and center. Then, change the color to white. Grab the canvas and drag it over to where it takes up the left part of the main canvas. Then, select it and duplicate the text canvas. Rename the duplicate to Total Cubes Text. Drag that canvas to where it occupies the right side of the main canvas. Then, under text, type in /2, because we're only going to be making 2 pick-upable cubes. Under alignment, change it to far left. And now we've completed our cube counter. Let's start working on making our pickup cubes. I'm going to be using ProBuilder, but feel free to use the inbuilt 3D modeler that comes with Unity already. Select ProBuilder, plus icon, cube, and build. Select the cube and rename it to Pickup Cube Number 1. Go to the cube's inspector and deselect static. Then, under scale, set it to 0.1 by 0.1 by 0.1. Then go to its box collider and select Is Trigger. Next, let's add a Udon behavior component. Select Add Component and search up Udon behavior. Select pickup cube number 1 again and duplicate it. Rename the duplicate to pickup cube number 2. Now that we've completed both our pickup cubes as well as our counter, let's start working on the Udon graph scripts. First, go to Assets, then right-click, Create, VRChat, Udon Graph Program Asset. Rename the script to Pickup Cube Logic. Then open Udon Graph. Once you're in Udon Graph, go to the Variables tab and select the plus icon. Then search up Udon behavior. Rename the Udon behavior variable to Collected Cube Logic. Hit the arrow and change it to public. Then hit the plus icon again and search up GameObject. Rename the GameObject variable to Pickup Cube. Then hit the arrow again and change it to public. Hit compile and drag both your variables onto your graph. Next, hit the spacebar and search up Event Interact. Then, hit the spacebar again and search up Udon behavior. Under Udon behavior, select Send Custom Event. Next, hit the spacebar and search up GameObject. And under GameObject, select Set Active. And lastly, hit the spacebar again and search up String. Under String, select Construct String. Once all your nodes are connected, go to String and name it to Cube Collected. And that will be the first half of the Udon scripts. Now that we've completed the first half of the Udon logic, let's start working on the second half. Select Assets, right-click, Create, VRChat, Udon Graph Program Asset. Rename the new script to Collected Cube Logic. Then open Udon Graph. Once you're in Udon Graph, go to the Variables tab. Because this is going to be a larger script, let's make the variables first. Go to the plus icon and create an integer variable. Rename the integer variable to Cubes Collected. Then, plus icon again, and create another integer variable. Rename the second variable to Total Cubes Needed. Then, plus icon, and search up text. Rename the text variable to Collected Cubes Display. And lastly, plus icon, and create a GameObject variable. Rename that GameObject variable to Secret Door. Then, set all your variables to public. and hit compile. Now that our variables are complete, let's start working on the Udon graph. I went ahead and separated the graph into 4 separate parts using groups. If you want to create a group for yourself, just right-click and select Create Group. Once it populates, you can rename it to whatever you like. And if you no longer want the group, just select it and press Delete. So let's begin. For group number 1, create a custom event node. Hit the spacebar and search up event. Then drop the custom event into the group. Next, we're going to copy and paste the string name from the pickup cube logic script into the custom event node. Select your script and open Udon Graph. Go to its string and copy the string name. Then go back to the collected cube logic script, go to the custom event node, and paste it in. Bear in mind that string names are typically case and spacing sensitive, so copying and pasting the string name typically removes the potential for a mistake. Next, select the cube's collected variable. Hold down Ctrl and drag the variable onto the script. Under the cube's collected variable, select Send Change. Next, hit the spacebar and search up integer. Under integer, select the addition node. In the addition node, change the lower 0 to a 1. Then, select the cube's collected variable and drag it onto your script. Plug the variable into the top half of the addition node. And that's it for group number 1. For group number 2, hit the spacebar and search up UI text. Under UI text, search for Set Text. Connect the text node to the Set Cubes Collected node. Then, hit the spacebar and search up integer. Under integer, search for toString. Connect the string to the value slot in the text node. Then, connect the instance to the integer slot in the cube's collected node. Lastly, grab the collected cube's display text variable and drag it onto your graph. Connect the text to the instance slot in the text node. Highlight your nodes and drop them into group number 2. And that's it for group number 2. For group number 3, hit the spacebar and search up branch. Then hit the spacebar again and search up integer. Under integer, search up equals. Connect the equals bool to the branch bool. Then, grab the total cubes needed variable and drag it onto the graph. Connect the integer to the object in the equals node. Then, connect the instance to the integer for the cubes collected node in group 1. Next, grab the branch node and connect it to the set text node in group number 2. Highlight your nodes and drag them into group number 3. For group number 4, hit the spacebar and search up GameObject. Under GameObject, select Set Active. Connect the Set Active node to the True branch in the branch node. Then, grab the secret door variable and drag it onto your graph. Connect the GameObject to the instance slot in the Set Active node. Highlight your nodes and drag them into group number 4. And that concludes script number 2. Now that we've completed our scripts, counter, and cubes, let's start working on applying the logic. Just a side note, I made this small secret room as an example, but feel free to construct and use anything else you like, because remember, the main goal of this script is to make a single game object in the world disappear. Go to cube count canvas logic. Then go down to Udon behavior. Drag in the collected cube logic script into the program source. So we have a couple of things to do in our Udon behavior script. First, under cubes collected, we're going to leave that at 0, because at the beginning of the game, you haven't collected any cubes. Then, under total cubes needed, set that to 2, mainly because we only have 2 cubes. But as you increase the number of cubes in your game, you can reflect that change here. Under collected cubes display, it's asking for a text. So go to your canvas and grab and drag the collected cubes text into the collected cubes display. As for the disappearing game object, for me, I set up the secret room and wanted the door to disappear. So I'm going to drag that into the slot. As for you and whatever you constructed, you can drag that game object into here. Now that we've completed the logic for our counter, let's start working on applying the logic for the pickup cubes. First, select pickup cube number 1, and then drag and drop the pickup cube logic script into the program source. Under the Udon behavior for pickup cube number 1, go to the collected cube logic. Then, grab and drag the cube count canvas logic into the collected cube logic. Next, under pickup cube, grab and drag pickup cube number 1 into the slot. Then apply the same for pickup cube number 2. And that about does it. Let's see if it works. Looks pretty good. Now that we've completed our cube game, let's go over how the script works. When you first interact with a cube, it triggers an event interact node. Then, it goes to a Udon behavior send custom event node. After that, it plays a game object set active node, which we've instructed to turn off our cube by setting its value to 0. As for the send custom event node, this is a pretty special node because it allows us to network between scripts. In short, I can play 2 scripts with 1 event. The way this node works is, you first give it the identity of the Udon behavior you want it to search through. Then, give it the string name of the custom event in that Udon behavior that you want it to play. Once it finds the string name of that custom event, it plays the node. And we'll go over that detail in script number 2. So here we are in script number 2. We've just collected our first cube, and we're receiving the signal from script number 1 to play the custom event cube collected. So, let's go through the steps of how this works. First, it goes to a set cubes collected node, which we're going to use to add a value of 1 to our cubes collected variable via an integer addition node, raising that variable's value from 0 to 1. In step number 2, the UI text updates using a setText node, which uses the new value of the cubes collected variable that is converted from an integer to a string, and then shown on the UI that you've instructed it to display it on. As for step number 3, all that's happening is an equality check, because what we're trying to do is set the value of the bool in the branch node to true, using the statement cubes collected equals total cubes needed. So far we've only collected 1 cube, so the integer value of the cubes collected variable is equivalent to 1. But the total cubes needed is 2, so the statement 1 equals 2 is a false statement, and the bool value in the branch node will remain false. The branch node has been instructed not to play anything if the statements are false, so nothing happens. But if we were to collect the second cube, the value of the cubes collected variable would increase to 2. Then, since the total number of cubes needed is 2, the statement 2 equals 2 would exist. Then, the value of the bool in the branch node would become true, and the true branch would play, leading to step number 4. As for step number 4, the signal goes to a game object set active node, which we've instructed to turn off our secret door by setting its value to 0. And that's pretty much it for all our code. Congratulations! You've made it to the end of the video, and you're still awake. Give yourself a pat on the back though, because you've literally just modeled and scripted an entire game, which is pretty commendable. As for the way you run the game, you can increase the amount of cubes in it by duplicating the cubes and then reflecting that value change in both the UI and in the script. As for the event that occurs when you're done collecting all the cubes, it doesn't just have to be a single door opening. In fact, it can be multiple things, such as fireworks going off and a sound playing. Honestly, the sky's the limit with this stuff. Well, that about wraps it up. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.